Zachary Lui here from Wuji, Xuan Life Wellness and Toronto Qigong. Now, let's break down to the nitty-gritty of things. The fun stuff of actually the comparison between yoga and Qigong. Society. Not the first thing you were thinking about, but it does actually influence the philosophy here. So having that background that we talked about in yoga, it's more along the lines of, well, I understand that we are trying to transcend and get into a better life or become one with Brahma. And there is this reincarnation cycle happening consistently in Indian culture and philosophy. So how does that reflect in society? Well, reflected in the context of, well, you're stuck in a caste, you're born in a caste, and you're staying in a certain way for that caste. There is no upgrades. If we had to put this in a video game context, there is no mobility. There is no growth. You were born into something, you're going to stay into something. And this particular view on life and the way people interact with life does show through Indian practices and yogic practices here. In yoga, the whole point was to transcend this. Now, what would the goals be? Well, it'd be to, one, you either become one with Brahma, the universe, or transcend into nirvana, if we're taking a Buddhist context on this. And from there, it would go into, if it's not that, and say, you just don't have the karma for that particularly in this moment or in this lifetime. Well, at least you've put some work into it so you can upgrade it in the next life. And you'll be in a better position to continue your practices till you reach that final goal of becoming one with Brahma or the universe, being one with everything, and having no separation of self. Because that is ultimately where Hinduism and Vedic traditions go into. Next, we go into the Qigong view of society, or Chinese culture's view of society. It's very different. It's all about mobility. Social classes get to move. You put as much effort as you put in, and you get the rewards. If you put in X amount of time, you're going to get X amount of results. So you can come from a peasant background, and you could be working for the emperor if you worked hard enough. And with that, if it's not the emperor, you can definitely work anywhere in between there. It just depends on the type of effort you put in. Because in Chinese culture, you did have that social mobility, and nothing really was restricting you. The main thing that was focused on was how do you harmonize and how do you work with all these different individuals, because you're not going to treat the emperor the same way you're going to treat your brother or your boss, and you're not going to treat your friends the same way. This social mobility works on a different question now, and we see that.